Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
It's a bright but chilly morning. Our temperatures are in the 30s and 40s as you head out the door. I'll show you which mornings coming up could be even closer to freezing.
And the search continues right now for a teenager missing here at Jordan Lake. Coming up, we'll tell you more about the newest information I just received from the Chatham County Sheriff's Office.
And big overnight developments in that fire spanning 100 acres that forced families out of their homes. We'll tell you where that stands this morning. Thanks for joining us on your Wednesday. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, a couple of fires we're talking about today. It's just a bad time of year for that dry, the wind's blowing out there. Elizabeth Gardner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, and we're chilly, definitely this morning.
Yes, and like you said, it's a bit breezy. Our winds coming out of the north at 9 miles per hour. Officially right now, 43 degrees. Lots of sunshine there in Fayetteville, but that's where that fire was in Cumberland County. And we are under high fire danger again today, so you don't want to do any outdoor burning. Take a look at the wind chill. It feels like 33 in Roxborough and South Hill. The wind chill is in the white box on the right. It feels like 38 in Raleigh. It feels like 40 in Fayetteville right now. So it's a cold start out there, especially compared to what we've seen over the last couple of months. We'll be gusting this morning up to 20 miles per hour, but we will see the wind dying down a little bit later this afternoon. Our temperatures are running 15 to 20 degrees colder than they were yesterday, which is what we were expecting. And we'll see the same thing this afternoon. Yesterday we climbed to mid 70s. We'll only make it to around 60 this afternoon, but we'll be nice and bright. Overnight tonight, more of us could see temperatures closer to freezing, and I'll show you how many more mornings in our 7-day forecast are that chilly. Coming up, Brian.
Here at 8:02, we've been watching some heavy delays this morning on 87 southbound in Knightdale. As far as we can tell, nothing is specifically causing this. Looks like it's just congestion. About a 7-minute delay showing up right now on sensors. It's especially heavy between the Wendell Falls Parkway interchange out towards Smithfield Road. Once you get to 540, traffic's flowing freely, but then it starts to slow down again between Hodge Road heading out toward the New Hope Road interchange. And once you hit 440 westbound from there, you're going to run into some sluggish traffic out toward the Capitol Boulevard interchange, which is pretty typical for this time of day. Also looking at some backups on 540 westbound coming in from the Lewisburg Road interchange heading out toward Capitol Boulevard. I-40 pretty slow this morning in spots. Wednesday tends to be our busiest morning on the roads. A 10-minute backup right now between 42 and the Clayton bypass. Also a little slow heading out toward the Jones Sausage Road interchange. About a 9-minute slowdown on the south side of Raleigh with congestion from South Saunders Street out toward US 1. And heading out to the airport right now from Wade Avenue, it's about a 2-minute backup that we're measuring. I've taken a look at the sensor readings from all of these incidents that you see around Raleigh. As far as I can tell, those are not causing any big problems. On the south side of Durham, we have some sun glare delays on 40 eastbound right now as we take a look at that camera out at 55. Seeing about a 3-minute delay overall coming in from Chapel Hill. Also measuring some heavy backups in both directions of 885, especially between I-40 and the 147 split. About a 4-minute slowdown on either side.
All right, thank you, Brian. We have some breaking news this morning. First responders are back out at Jordan Lake this morning to search for a teenager missing for about 12 hours now. WRAL's Naya Hardin is at the Farrington Point boat access. And Naya, you just spoke with someone with the sheriff's office about this. What did they say?
That's right. Within the last 3 minutes, we're hearing from the sheriff's office now that this was a teenage male that had disappeared. We're also hearing from them that they say that the teenager was with family when this happened. So that was one new tidbit there that we did not know is who that teenager was with when all of this happened last night. Now you can see here this active scene right now. A lot of crews have started to show up within the last few minutes here as they continue that search this morning. Crews were out here though last night and they were looking for the teen after the teen was reported missing just before 8 o'clock last night. The teen went out on a jet ski, we're told, with a family member in Jordan Lake when it started having mechanical problems. The family member was on a different jet ski, went back to shore to get a rope to pull the teenager back. When they returned, the jet ski was there, but the teen was gone. We are still working to get new information about this as we do. As this continues to develop, we'll make sure to pass that along. Naya Hardin, WRAL News in Chatham County.
Happening now, a large woods fire is still smoldering in some areas, now 16 hours after it started. This is in Cumberland County, and this is what it looked like last night. Michael Grace spent all night there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. He says a lot of that smoke has since cleared out.
Well, this is what a lot of residents in this area are going to be waking up to. Smoldering smoke and even some small fires like you see right behind me. Right now I'm on Dudley Road, right down the street from where this all happened. And the majority of the smoke this morning coming from Mac Simmons Road. But let's get to some video of what this fire looked like at its peak yesterday. It all started around 4 p.m. yesterday on Dudley Road, and this fire spanned over 100 acres in this area. 10 different homes had to be evacuated. Red Cross is assisting any people affected by this fire, but a big reason why it spread so quickly and was so powerful is the fact that there's such low humidity and high wind yesterday. At one point, 30 different fire crews were working to battle these flames. I got here at around 2 in the morning. The Cedar Creek Volunteer Fire Department was still out here working to fight a fire that was right near a home on Mac Simmons Road. So again, that is where a lot of this smoke is coming from this morning. You want to be careful if you're driving that way. Another thing to pay attention to as we enter this spring fire season, a lot more low humidity, high wind days, is check the back of your trailers. Make sure they're not dragging, causing any sparks, and make sure you're not throwing anything like cigarette butts out the window. In Cumberland County, Michael Grace, WRAL News.
There is an even bigger fire burning on the coast where Marines at Camp Lejeune will be driving through smoke this morning. Officials say a massive brush fire has burned about 3,500 acres of woodland off Marines Road. The official Facebook page for the base posted these photos after 1 this morning, saying that fire is mostly contained. There have been no reports of injuries or damage to nearby buildings.
Also, we've learned in the last hour, improperly discarded smoking materials are to blame for an apartment fire. The Red Cross says 19 people were forced out of the building on Windward Cove off Cliffdale Road in Fayetteville last night. Investigators tell us no one was hurt, and the flames took about 20 minutes to bring under control. And also breaking, we've learned in the last 30 minutes that a 75-year-old man has died after being hit by a car in northeast Raleigh. Police tell us Charles Kudla was crossing Spring Forest Road when he was hit at the intersection of Capitol Boulevard. Officers say 19-year-old Jabril Parks was driving the car that hit him. Parks is facing several charges, including misdemeanor death by vehicle.
A heads up for your commute tomorrow morning after days of delays. The Department of Transportation says it will close the intersection of Hillsborough Street and Blue Ridge Road late tonight. It's expected to stay closed for several months. The plan is to make Blue Ridge Road pass underneath Hillsborough Street under the railroad tracks there, as well as Barrel Road. It's all part of a larger construction project to make the intersection safer there for people who are going to events at the State Fairgrounds, at Carter Finley Stadium, PNC Arena right there as well.
And tonight, Chapel Hill could move forward with a controversial housing project despite concerns over coal ash. Town Council is set to discuss the next steps for a future municipal center and affordable housing on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. That same site was used as a trash pit for decades with enough toxic coal ash to fill 18 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Some have expressed health concerns for any future residents. Town officials say removing the ash would cost $16 million and plan to cap it with a clean soil instead. Tonight's meeting is at 7 o'clock.
Attendance bonuses could be the latest incentive to find and keep bus drivers at Wake County schools. This is an ongoing shortage we've reported on, and it keeps getting worse. The school board will consider those bonuses March 21st. The county needs hundreds of drivers to fully staff its routes. And right now, 32% of those positions are unfilled. Just one absence can cause big problems in getting kids to school.
UNC and NC State fans will have their eyes on Greensboro tonight as their teams try to advance in the ACC tournament. The Tar Heels will play Boston College at 7 o'clock tonight. After that, NC State will play Virginia Tech, and tip-off for that game is at 9:30. Duke will get its tournament run started tomorrow afternoon against either Pitt or Georgia Tech. And WRAL's live coverage from the Greensboro Coliseum will get started at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Gerald Owens will be there live with pre- and post-game coverage along with the entire WRAL sports team.
10 minutes after 8 on your Wednesday morning. Still ahead, the next steps for Norfolk Southern after several train derailments and a new investigation showing they left more chemicals in the water than they previously thought.
And breaking news, Sky 5 just arrived at the scene of that search for a missing teen on Jordan Lake. You are looking live at the scene right now. We'll get another update in just a few minutes.
And it's another breezy day. Of course, we did have a wildfire in parts of the viewing area, especially down in Cumberland County. There was one overnight. We're under fire danger again for it today. We'll talk about when our winds begin to ease up coming up.
.13 is the time on a Wednesday morning. Beautiful sky over DBAP right there. It's blue skies and getting ready for the Bull City baseball the end of this month. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Won't be long now.
It won't. I'm hoping our temperatures will be a little bit warmer. Flip this back around. It does look like it may be pretty chilly through the end of this month. We'll talk more about that in just a little while. Right now, though, it looks beautiful. It's a little breezy. We're sunny in Goldsboro and Apex. It's nice in Durham, of course, and in Chapel Hill here, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. We do have fire danger again today. We had a wildfire develop down in Cumberland County. I think it's mostly out at this point, but it's still breezy this morning and it's dry. Our humidity is very low, so high fire danger again today. You're encouraged not to do any outdoor burning again today. Of course, our cold front moved through yesterday and delivered some chilly air, and that's going to be with us for a while. The next thing that happens is we see this front starting to move eastward. That's going to bring us some showers, but not just yet. This evening is going to be cool but pleasant. At 7 o'clock, 52 degrees. Over in Greensboro, where the ACC tournament kicks off. If you're headed that way, it'll be nice and clear, just cool. Boston College plays UNC at 7. At 9:30, Virginia Tech versus NC State. Should be 46 degrees as that game begins. Here's a look at our next round of rain that doesn't come in until Friday, and that could affect your travels. It looks like it's going to be here in time for the morning commute on Friday. We stay dry on Thursday, but you can see that rain moving in first thing Friday. Now, that is earlier than our previous model run, so we're going to be watching the trends here. At this point, it looks like we're going to see rain for a good bit of the day. It'll be scattered, but it looks like that rain will move out for Saturday, and Saturday looks dry, variably cloudy. We do have more rain on the way for late Sunday. You can see the rain in the mountains early Sunday. It doesn't move into our area until maybe close to 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so most of Sunday should stay dry. It is wet on Sunday night and into Monday morning, and then after that, we should see that moving out. How much rain Friday? It's going to be fairly light, probably around a 1/10 of an inch or so, but then we move it ahead and add Sunday and Monday's rain to that, and that's not going to show up, but it looks like more like 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain total by early next week. Statewide tornado drill happens today at 9:30. The school kids are always good about practicing that, but if you are headed to your office building today, you need to know where's the basement, what's the plan, if there's a tornado warning, where do you go? And of course, this is Severe Weather Preparedness Week. It is also the week that we set the clocks ahead 1 hour before we go to bed Saturday. We see that time change this weekend, losing a little bit of sleep, not gaining any warmth. It is what it is. Tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures closer to freezing. We see that again on Sunday morning and Tuesday morning. So definitely feeling more like winter. We'll talk about who has the best chance of seeing frost coming up. Brian?
Here at 8:16, some new information in the past few minutes. We have a report of a vehicle fire on Highway 50 or Benson Road, just south of Timber Drive in the Garner area. Seeing some pretty heavy delays there in both directions of Highway 50, just south of Timber Drive. Once you get to Timber, though, that traffic is moving along well up toward Business 70. Around the rest of the triangle, we still have a few crashes there. It looks like we've just had one in the past couple of minutes around the Beltline and the Glenwood Avenue interchange, working to pinpoint exactly what is going on out there. But we are picking up some pretty heavy delays on 440 westbound heading through the Six Forks Road area out toward Glenwood Avenue. Elsewhere around Wake County, we're seeing the usual slowdowns on 40 westbound heading out toward the airport this morning from Wade Avenue toward Harrison Avenue. And your other approaches into Raleigh also pretty busy. Coming in from Johnston County on 40 westbound, about a 16-minute delay this morning around the Clayton bypass up toward Business 70. Still have that 11-minute backup heading out of Knightdale back toward Raleigh on 87 southbound. And coming in from Wake Forest this morning, an 11-minute slowdown on southbound Capitol Boulevard. As we take a look at your ride through the south part of Raleigh, a 4-minute delay there from 440 to US 1, and then a 2-minute backup from Wade Avenue to 540. Still looking at some sun glare delays in South Durham on 40 eastbound with some sluggish traffic between 15501 and 885.
And we continue to follow breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center. We want to take you to these live pictures out of the Farrington Point boat access. Sky 5 over the scene where crews have been searching for a teen who's been missing now for almost 12 hours. You can see these live pictures of another crew getting ready to put another boat in the water to search for this teen. In the last 15 minutes, we learned from the Chatham County Sheriff's Office that this teen was apparently with his family. They were jet skiing. The jet ski this teen was on developed some type of mechanical issues. Now, another family member went back to shore to get help, but when they came back, the jet ski was there, but the teen was not. And again, this search has been going on now for more than 12 hours. These pictures courtesy of Sky 5. We will continue to remain on this story and bring you any new developments here in the WRAL Live Center and, of course, on air and on WRAL.com.
All right, Ken, thanks for that update. We're working to learn how a woman and child are doing this morning after their SUV was hit during a street race in Raleigh. We told you about this crash on Atlantic Avenue. It's breaking news yesterday morning. One of the racers died after losing control of his vehicle. As Sky 5 flew over that crash, we found out the second racer ran away after crashing his red Chevy Camaro. Neighbors say they heard the crash from their homes.
A loud bang, and we weren't sure if it was like a gunshot or like it was extremely loud, and we popped up and we could see through the tree line, and you could see there was like some brake lights, but you weren't really sure if it was an accident.
Police have not said if they found the second person involved in that street race.
Durham police are working to learn what led up to a deadly crash on Hillsborough Road. Officers say a car hit and killed a man right at the 15501 overpass. This is Sky 5 video from that scene. Investigators didn't identify the man who died or say if the driver will be charged.
Norfolk Southern will hold safety briefings with its employees today as the National Transportation Safety Board opens a special investigation into the company's practices. The company is under fire for several incidents, including 2 train derailments in Ohio just weeks apart. Yesterday, a train conductor was killed after a collision in Cleveland. There have been 5 serious accidents since December of 2021, resulting in 3 deaths.
Meanwhile, Michelle, researchers say they found more chemicals than initially reported at that site of Norfolk Southern's train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Water sampled from 2 creeks near the crash contained several unreported chemicals, including one that can cause coughing and shortness of breath. The crash happened on February 3rd. The team sent its findings to a U.S. Senate committee, which will hold a hearing on that derailment tomorrow.
Fox News host Tucker Carlson is accusing top Republicans, including Senator Thom Tillis of North Carolina, of lies and censorship. This all comes after Carlson released selected clips from 40,000 hours of video from the January 6th Capitol riots given to him by House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Carlson has used the clips to downplay the violence at the Capitol. Senator Tillis and other Senate Republicans joined Democrats in criticizing his actions.
I was here. I was down there, and I saw maybe a few tourists, a few people who got caught up in things, but when you see police barricades breached, when you see police officers assaulted, all of that, or you had to be in close proximity to it, if you were just a tourist, you should have probably lined up at the visitor center.
Capitol Police have also condemned Carlson's comments about the January 6th video. House Republicans, meanwhile, have mostly supported Carlson.
This controversy comes as new court filings reveal more behind-the-scenes conversations at Fox News. Dominion Voting Systems released text messages and emails in its defamation lawsuit against the network. And they include texts from Tucker Carlson, who said this about President Trump at the time, quote, "I hate him passionately. He's a demonic force, a destroyer." Those are Carlson's words. Dominion accuses Fox of pushing Trump's claims about fraud in the 2020 election on TV, while privately dismissing the accusations. Fox accused Dominion of misinformation and a smear campaign.
It's International Women's Day, and 2 North Carolina lawmakers are taking action. State Representative Julie Von Hafen and State Senator Natalie Murdoch will announce 2 new bills that support the Equal Rights Amendment. The amendment was first drafted a century ago by suffragette leaders. It gives women equal rights under the law. 38 states have signed on, but not include North Carolina. Today's briefing on the new bills will be at 10 a.m.
New on Fox 50 for the first time, you can buy a flying bike, the X Turismo. Check it out. It's a luxury air cruiser. It is now for sale, $555,000. It's inspired by the Star Wars franchise. The bike weighs more than 660 pounds. Top speed, 62 miles an hour. It also uses 4 fans to stabilize itself. Unfortunately, right now, the bike is only available in Japan and is limited to test rides over a closed racetrack.
Good. I hope my boyfriend's not watching this because he would be like, we're getting one. And I'm going to say, no, we're not. So only available in Japan.
Who wouldn't want one
I
except
know.
for the price tag?
I can't encourage him, though.
Yeah, they're pretty neat, though.
Yes, very cool. The students and businesses will soon hear emergency tornado sirens, but it's all part of a bigger exercise when you can expect to hear the sounds of a statewide tornado drill today.
Plus, why time may be running out for TikTok here in the U.S. as it faces mounting criticism for its tracking of personal data.
Listen to WRAL News Plus on your radio in Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good Wednesday morning. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey with your top stories. We're going to begin with traffic. Brian Schrader is tracking a crash on the Beltline. Brian.
This is on 440 westbound, right around Glenwood Avenue. Our partners at WRAL reporting that crash this morning. The good news is in the past couple of minutes, it looks like they may have made some progress getting that moved out of the road, and traffic's flowing a little more freely right around the crash site itself. But look out for some police activity there on the shoulder. Still, we've got our usual delays on 440 westbound this morning from 87 around to Wade Avenue. It's about an 8-minute backup. Also, on the south side of Garner, we have a vehicle fire on Highway 50 just south of Timber Drive. This is another situation that looks like it may be clearing here in the past few minutes, but certainly on that northbound side, we're still seeing some heavy delays heading up toward Timber Drive.
Our weather is beautiful. It's just colder than it was yesterday. We take a live look at Rocky Mount, Durham, and Raleigh, and temperatures are in the low 40s. But with the wind chill, it's feeling more like 30s across most of the area this morning. So a coat definitely feels good. We're going to be grabbing those coats a whole lot more coming up over the next several days. Exercise this morning requires bundling up. If you want it to be a little warmer, the warmest part of the day will be late afternoon with temperatures near 60.
Thanks, Elizabeth. You're looking live from Sky 5 as the search gets back underway for a teen who disappeared while jet skiing on Jordan Lake. We've learned in the last 15 minutes the teen was with a family member at the time. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office says the teen's jet ski had broken down. We will continue to follow this story. And firefighters are gone, but smoke is lingering near the site of a 100-acre fire in the woods in Cumberland County. Flames prompted a brief evacuation near Dudley Road, and one home and a boat were damaged. No one was hurt. Next on Fox 50, what to expect as UNC and NC State begin their ACC tournament journey today. And ahead on today, celebrating International Women's Day with empowering stories.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
The cold air has arrived. There's lots of sunshine out there, but chilly temperatures. I'll show you what it feels like with the wind chill as you're heading out the door.
Everything just seems so surreal to me.
Family members speak out after only 2 members in a group of 4 make it home alive from a kidnapping just over the border in Mexico.
We are just hours away from the ACC men's basketball tournament, and businesses here in downtown Raleigh, they're ready. Just ahead, I'll give you a look at what's in store.
Oh, let that madness begin. It is March, right? And topsy-turvy times ahead.
Yeah.
Especially for our weather. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, we had spring, summer-like temperatures yesterday. Not the case today. It's a little colder out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Garner tracking the temperatures for us this morning, Elizabeth.
March Madness definitely applies to weather as well, especially this year. Right now it is 43 degrees. We're looking at beautiful sunshine here in downtown Raleigh. You can see the flags and the camera shaking a little bit there. Our winds are out of the northeast, steady at 9, but we're seeing gusty frosty conditions, making it feel really chilly as you head out the door. The wind chill is on the right. It's not a dangerous wind chill. It's just sort of a, oh, gee, really? It feels like that. 38 in Raleigh, 31 in Roxborough, 34 Rocky Mount. It feels like 40 degrees in Fayetteville right now. We do have high fire danger again today because of the wind. We're going to see gusts up to around 20 miles per hour this morning, and then that wind will start to taper off. But with the high fire danger, you're asked not to do any outdoor burning again today. 24-hour temperature change, 15 to 20 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. And yesterday at lunchtime, we were already in the mid-70s. Lunchtime today, likely to be around 50. At our high this afternoon, close to 60 degrees. It's a quick cool down tonight as we approach freezing. I'll show you who has the best chance of seeing frosty conditions coming up. Brian?
Here at 8:32, we've been watching some delays on the Beltline this morning on 440 westbound. We had an earlier crash right around the Glenwood Avenue interchange, and it looks like we may have another crash here in the past couple of minutes around Brentwood Road and Capitol Boulevard. About a 10-minute delay showing up there, especially between the I-87 interchange out toward Capitol Boulevard. Once you get through that, heading out towards Six Forks and Glenwood, traffic seems to be flowing fairly well. Around the rest of Wake County, we're looking pretty good overall with our major routes. We are still seeing some delays in South Raleigh on 40 westbound, especially between the Lake Wheeler Road interchange heading out toward Chapel Hill Road. About a 7-minute delay still lingering there coming in from Johnston County on 40 westbound right around the Clayton bypass, and a big 11-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest on southbound Capitol Boulevard. I want to head over to Hillsborough where I'm tracking some backups on 85 northbound heading away from 86 out toward the Durham-Orange County line. Looks like there's likely a crash out there, so allow some extra time. Try to pick up 85 northbound from 70 over around the Eno area to save yourself a little bit of time from Hillsborough to Durham this morning.
Breaking news we are following right now. First responders are back out at Jordan Lake this morning searching for a teenage boy missing now for over 12 hours. WRAL's Nia Harden is at the Farrington Point boat access. And Nia, we've gotten some new information in just about the last 30 minutes.
That's absolutely right. The sheriff's office here now telling me that the teen missing is a male. And they also tell me that the person who was out with the teen yesterday was a family member. So far, what we know is that the teenager was reported missing just before 8 o'clock last night. And you can see here there are crews out here that are out here already. They've started their search. They started about 6:30 this morning. And this is what they're picking up after being out here once that was reported around 8 o'clock. The teen went out, we're told, on a jet ski with someone else in Jordan Lake when it started having mechanical problems. The other person, which was a family member on a different jet ski, went back to shore to get a rope to pull the teen back. But when they returned, they said the jet ski was there, but the teen was gone. Now you can hear it's getting a little louder right now, and that is because they do also have a helicopter that they're starting to send up right now. As we get those updates on this, we'll continue to let you know. Nia Harden, WRAL News in Chatham County.
Well, there is still heavy smoke this morning near the site of a 100-acre fire in the woods in Cumberland County. This video shows the flames near Dudley Road. They prompted a brief evacuation, and one home and a boat were damaged. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker says firefighters have since cleared out. No one was hurt. And an even bigger fire is burning on the coast where Marines at Camp Lejeune will be driving through smoke this morning. Officials say a massive brush fire has burned about 3,500 acres of woodland. The base's Facebook page posted these photos after 1 a.m. saying the fire is mostly contained. There have been no reports of injuries or damage to nearby buildings.
Today, the search officially begins for the new leader of the state's largest school system. North Carolina School Boards Association will post the job for the next Wake County school superintendent. On Friday, the county's school board will meet for a special session focused on that job search. Current Superintendent Caddy Moore announced her retirement last month. The board hopes to name a replacement before she leaves July 1st.
It's an exciting day for college basketball fans. The ACC tournament journey for our local team starts today with UNC and NC State playing back-to-back games. WRAL's Laura Levine is live in downtown Raleigh to tell us how businesses are preparing for the big game and the crowd of people, Laura.
Yeah, Michelle, good morning. Right now, we are outside of Tobacco Road here in downtown Raleigh, and you can see they are ready by this sign on this door. It says it's tournament time. We will be open every day until the final buzzer sounds for all ACC games. Now, Triangle fans have 2 games to watch tonight when UNC and NC State play in back-to-back evening games. Let's roll back some video from final games in the regular season. UNC begins tournament play at 7 tonight against Boston College, who beat Louisville last night in the ACC Day 1 matchup. UNC beat Boston College back in January during the regular season. So this is a critical game for the Tar Heels' bubble hopes. NC State plays in the nightcap as the ACC's 6th seed, and they'll face Virginia Tech. The Wolfpack did beat the Hokies during the regular season. And all of the second-round action tips off at noon. WRAL will have full live coverage from Greensboro beginning at 4 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Raleigh.
It's all very exciting. Print your bracket now. Make your picks and follow along all week. You can find everything you need to plan your ACC tournament viewing schedule on WRALSportsFan.com. Can't play hooky to watch the afternoon games? Don't worry. Tap the WRAL Sports Fan app for live scores, schedules, stories, and video. You can download it from the App Store or Google Play.
North Carolina schools and businesses will take part in tornado safety drills this morning. It's part of the National Weather Service's Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Last March, severe thunderstorms spawned 90 tornadoes across the southeast, including Wake County. It was the largest tornado outbreak of the year and tore the roofs off of homes in the Triangle. Today's tornado drill will be broadcast over the emergency alert system at 9:30 today.
2 U.S. citizens are back on American soil this morning after being kidnapped in Mexico. 2 of their friends were killed. Friends say 33-year-old Latavia McGee was trying to get to a medical clinic for a procedure. She was traveling with 3 friends. Investigators believe they got lost and came under fire from a drug cartel. They were then loaded into the back of a truck and abducted. The wife of one of the survivors says she can't believe what happened.
I didn't know anything until Sunday morning when the FBI came. Everything just seemed so surreal to me.
One of the survivors was shot 3 times. Police have detained 1 person in the case so far, a 24-year-old accused of keeping watch on the victims. Ken Smith is tracking new developments in the Live Center, Ken.
Yeah, new video into the WRAL Live Center, Michelle, shows the house where those 4 Americans were found by Mexican authorities. And of course, that's the red house right there where those 4 Americans were found. And as you just reported, 2 of them died. 2 of the survivors are now being treated at a Brownsville, Texas hospital. This this house right now remains under heavy guard in Mexico. Mexican authorities are still trying to investigate how the 2 Americans died.
We'll see more video today of the deadly arrest and beating of Tyree Nichols in Memphis. The city says it'll release 20 more hours of video in the case today. It'll also release the records related to the initial charges in the case and the administrative investigations. The city wrapped up its investigation yesterday. More than a dozen Memphis Fire and Police Department employees are charged in Nichols' death back in January. 5 former officers are charged with second-degree murder. They have pleaded not guilty. A plan to build up the North Hills skyline with towers nearly 40 stories tall is done for now, at least. Now, how long the developer will have to wait to try again on that project.
Plus, why Twitter's CEO is apologizing to one of his employees after a feud over his job went viral overnight.
And we're keeping an eye on how long this big drop in temperatures will last here at home as you look live at Rocky Mount Mills. Your 7-day forecast is up next.
Welcome back. Lake Gaston Shore looks pretty this morning and it feels chilly. Temperatures kind of cold out there right now. You'll definitely need to bundle up if you're heading out on the water today. Temperature is chilly across really our entire area. Elizabeth Gardner has a view over the legislative building. Those flags are waving in the wind too. It's
they are, and the camera is shaking too. We're seeing winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour in some places right now. So it's blustery, it's chilly. It's not like yesterday. Yesterday was windy, but it was a warm wind. and that warm wind is definitely gone at this point. Our temperature 43 degrees in the Triangle. We'll climb into the upper 50s this afternoon. This morning our temperatures have been running 15 to 20 degrees colder than yesterday, and we'll see the exact same thing during the evening as well. This is a live look at our Fayetteville newsroom. It's beautiful and sunny there, but of course there was a wildfire in parts of Cumberland County, and we are under high fire danger again today, so you don't want to do any outdoor burning. This is a look at the wind chill in the box on the right in white. 34 in Rocky Mount. That's what it feels like there right now. 37 in Goldsboro. Feels like 40 in Southern Pines, and 33 up in Roxborough. So it's chilly out there and breezy. So again, high fire danger for today. It looks like the wind will begin to die down tonight and shouldn't be as windy for tomorrow. Of course, with all the warmth that we've seen lately, our pollen count is way up there. 1379 from yesterday. That's the highest it's been this early in the season ever, but it's likely to begin to taper off. It'll be very high today, likely high Thursday, and then it begins to ease up a little bit. Number one, it's going to rain on Friday. But number two, with the cooler temperatures, it doesn't signal the trees to release as much pollen. Now, it doesn't mean that we're done. I think once we get into April, or at least to the end of March, when we start to warm up again, we'll probably see another wave of it coming through. And it won't completely end, but it's going to die down a little bit. Right now, it's 39 in Roxborough, 46 in Fayetteville, 41 in Rocky Mount. So it's a chilly start this morning. Again, 15 to 20 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. Our highs this afternoon in the Triangle, close to 60, and that's about normal. 61 in Fayetteville, 58 in South Hill. Again, normal is 60, and so we'll be either side of that today and tomorrow. Friday's going to be a chilly one with a high of only 50. That means it's going to feel like 40s for most of the day with rain, and our timeline for rain Friday's moved up a little bit, so it looks like it could rain for most of the day. A couple of chilly mornings, too. Even colder tomorrow morning. We're looking at mid-30s, and then mid-30s again on Sunday. Typically this time of year, we would be seeing freezing temperatures, but it's been so warm lately that we've seen trees and leaves and flowers budding out a lot earlier than normal. So the freeze program starts on Sunday, which is a lot earlier than it normally does. Our average last freeze is April 8th in the Triangle. The latest freeze is May 8th, and so it is typical for us to continue to see freezing temperatures this time of year. But they're going to start those watches and warnings most likely over the weekend. We could see temperatures below normal all the way through March 21st or beyond. Hopefully we get into April and it starts to warm up a little bit. One more event for us over the weekend. Of course, we spring forward. We go back to daylight time. We also have rain Friday and again Sunday night into Monday.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The debate is over. Building towers nearly 40 stories high in North Hills is not going to happen right now. Developer Kane Realty pulled the plug on its rezoning request for 11 acres of that land. The city says Kane must now wait 2 years to resubmit its request or get a waiver from City Council to restart the process. A neighborhood group has been fighting that effort over traffic concerns and the density of the new development off Six Forks Road.
Another North Carolina public school system is installing metal detectors. The Granville County School Board approved a plan for metal detectors in all 8 of its elementary schools. Middle and high schools already have them. Each metal detector will cost about $4,000. School officials tell WRAL recent incidents, both nationally and locally, have changed feelings about how the district addresses school security.
Metal detectors are just one more tool in our toolbox to keep our students safe and secure. It's not going to solve all of our problems, but it can serve as a deterrent and eliminate one risk factor.
Recently, several other school districts in our area have announced plans to make similar security upgrades.
Time may be running out for TikTok in the U.S. A bipartisan group of senators introduced new legislation yesterday that could ban the app. The White House is backing the bill as well. It doesn't specifically name TikTok, but it would give the U.S. more powers to ban foreign softwares deemed to be a national security risk. TikTok CEO is scheduled to testify at a House Energy and Commerce Committee meeting later this month.
Twitter CEO Elon Musk is apologizing for mocking one of his employees with a disability. Musk tweeted the apology for the man known as Hallie. Hallie had tweeted at Musk saying he couldn't get access to his computer, and no one from the company responded for 9 days as he repeatedly asked whether he was being laid off. Musk then questioned Hallie's work experience and his ability to type. Hallie has muscular dystrophy and was recently hailed as Iceland's Person of the Year for his charity work and for choosing to pay higher taxes after Twitter bought his startup. Musk called the exchange with Hallie a misunderstanding. New this morning, voters in Oklahoma are choosing not to make recreational marijuana legal. A referendum to legalize the drug failed after a last-minute blitz in opposition from faith leaders and law enforcement. Oklahoma would have been the 22nd state to legalize recreational cannabis. Medical marijuana is already legal there. Here in North Carolina, a bill to make medical use legal is making its way through the General Assembly.
There is a big consignment sale this weekend in Raleigh. It is time for our Go Ask Mom segment, and WRAL lifestyle editor Kathy Hanrahan is here with how parents can plan for the Kids Everywhere sale. Kathy, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, the Kids Everywhere sale, it's open to the general public on Saturday at noon. It's being held over at South Hills Mall and Plaza off of Buck Jones Road. The sale is going to be a lot like previous years. Look for lots of clothing, baby items, just tons of stuff.
And you've been out there. The sales attract a lot of parents. What advice do you have for some first-time shoppers?
You're going to get overwhelmed. Right now, we've got something on our lifestyle section. I have 10 tips for shopping at these kinds of sales. Now, you find out where the layout's going to be, where things are. Prioritize what you want. If you want a swing for your baby, go right to the swings. Don't get distracted by the clothes. They're going to be there a while. Always hit clothing last because there's so much of it. Also look at expiration dates. Car seats expire. Some toys have been recalled. Double check things on your phone. Look it up before you purchase.
Yeah, and I know that these, their stock is full at the beginning, but if you're looking for a particular item, you can wait this out, right? Get some of those discount days?
You can. If you saw something you liked, you can go back. They're going to have 50% off days on March 12th and 17th, 75% off days on the 18th and 19th. You can go back and shop. And if you want to get in earlier on these different days to take advantage of those options, they do have tickets. So you can get in earlier for about $5 or more.
All right. Great advice, Kathy. Thanks. You can go to WRAL.com, search keyword lifestyle to get more information.
The Carolina Hurricanes are celebrating another win after tying the Montreal Canadiens at 3 with a goal in the closing minutes last night. They went on to get the win in the shootout. The best kind of win, right? 4-3. The Hurricanes have now won 3 in a row. There it is. They return home tomorrow night for a game against the Philadelphia Flyers. And join WRAL as we celebrate and support our amazing local arts community during the 3rd annual Big Night In for the Arts. The event features performances by Tony Award winner Beth Level, fusion folk artists Larry and Joe, social media dance superstars Costin Mayer, plus a live performance from Grammy-nominated country artist Reese Palmer. Watch, donate, and celebrate the arts tomorrow at 7 on WRAL and wherever you stream WRAL.
Our Teacher of the Week opens the world of English to students who speak another language. WRAL's Brian Schrader with the Raleigh educator who had a special message for her students.
Jane Ferguson's teaching journey started in college when she studied in Costa Rica.
I was the only American in most of my classes. So I came back to the United States after spending 6 months in Costa Rica, and I decided that I wanted to help English learners here.
Ferguson has been teaching English as a second language for 17 years, the last 5 at Brooks Elementary in Raleigh. The school had a large group of refugee students who were learning English.
Many of them have experienced trauma and come from dangerous situations.
Ferguson says she wants her students to feel safe, so they look forward to coming to school.
That's one of my top priorities, that they feel safe and loved and that they want to come to school. So I see it as both challenging and the most rewarding job.
And Ferguson wanted you to hear the message that she has for her students.
I am so very proud of each and every one of them. And they are incredible and resilient and brave. And I'm just so incredibly proud to be their teacher.
Jane Ferguson is WRAL's Teacher of the Week. I'm Brian Schrader, WRAL News.
Great attitude, great way to lead. You can look at all of our honored teachers and nominate a teacher you'd like for us to recognize by going to WRAL.com and enter Teacher of the Week in the search box.
And before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic. That's coming up next.